Hey guys, this is Jose and this is tutorial number 4 in conditionals. So, okay, we have this content from the past script, so I'm just going to remove this and we're going to start from scratch. Let's see what a conditional is. Basically, the idea of an if statement, and we'll follow the following structure. Okay, so we're going to say if condition, right? We need to specify a condition here, and I'm gonna put column here. This statement will happen, right? Something like, let's do something like rs dot add point, as we've been doing, or let's try something like print true, right? And we could say else print false, right? So this is the structure of an if statement. We need to specify a condition that would be checked. If that condition is true, this bit of code that is indented here would get executed. If it's not true, this bit of code would get executed. We can omit all this bit altogether, and we will only print true if this condition is true, right? So what kind of condition can we evaluate? Let's say if I is bigger than 10, right? Right now we don't have anything called I, so we're going to say something like I is equal to 20, right? So in this case, it's very simple. It's very clear. I is definitely bigger than 10. Well, let's try that. And we are printing true. Right, so what if it's less than 10? We're going to print false, right? So straightforward. That's very simple. These operations could get more complex, and we're going to see how to use them in a more complex way with ands and ors, or evaluations of, let's say, what if it's we say something like equals, saying if it's equal than 10, this would have to be 10. So this is an expression of equality. It's like looking and checking if these values are equal. It's not assigning, as it would be like just one symbol of equality. Like, so in this case we're checking. So let's see, this is true, right? And there's another one called non-equality. So it's something like that. If it's not 10, right? In this case, anything but 10 would be print true, right? So let's mix a little bit the things that we've done already. Let's bring a for loop. So for I in range from 0 to 100, so we're gonna indent this further like this. So everything inside here is gonna happen 100 times, right? So we're gonna say if I is smaller than 30, we're gonna say rs dot add point. And where do we add this point? 0, 0, 0. Here we're gonna say something like I in x, right? So if it's smaller than 30, we're gonna add a point with the coordinates of I. Else, saying if it's bigger than 30, we're gonna do something else, right? Let's do something like add sphere, right? So we're gonna add a sphere in that position with a radius of 2. So let's check this and see what do we have. Okay, perfect. we generated quite a bit of spheres, so it's taking a bit of time. But you can see that from 0 to 30 we are printing points, else print spheres, right? So that's what we got here. I'm gonna just do it like, how can we say something like odd and even, right? I'm gonna do less in this case because I think that we did basically too many. But I'm gonna try to make points and spheres, and we're gonna do the spheres much smaller, like 0.3 radius, right? So we're gonna do a check that is like this. We're gonna say I modulo 2 equals 0. This operation is a remainder, right? So what we're checking here is like, what if we divide I times 2? Is there any remainder to the division? If there's not, that means that 2 fits perfectly in I, so that's a even number. We are going to generate a point. Else, in the case of an odd number, we're going to generate a sphere. So this is it's a simple way of actually doing sequences, in this case an odd even number, but we could also say 3 or 5, and every 5 we're going to generate a sphere. We're going to see that. So let's try that. Right, so that's very small, but we can see here that we have dot, sphere, and so forth. I'm gonna undo the script, Control-C, and I'm gonna do the same thing every 5 frames, and this time I'm gonna do 40 maybe, right? Right, so you can notice that when you run the script, we can see the points appearing in the screen sequentially, right? We can see as if it was an animation, but that's just that the script is running sequentially and it's showing us the progress of the script. That's kind of interesting if you really want to see what are the steps of the script, but if you really want to get the result done fast, you want to add the following line, right? So we're going to see rs.enable redraw, right? And this is a very important function that will allow us, whenever we're doing looping like this, just to make the script run much faster, right? So we're going to say enable redraw false, and be careful with the spelling here. It needs to be capitalized, and you'll see that it turns blue. But this will say, okay, don't draw anything on the screen, don't refresh the screen, right? So we need to just tell the script when to refresh the screen. When do we draw the material that we've been building on, right? All this stuff that we're doing in the for loop. So we're going to say rs.enable redraw again. And in this case, we're going to say true, right? So we can run the script now, and you'll see that it's instant, right? It's extremely fast, the way in which this every 4 frames we got a dot. This is due to the like the 5th element will be a dot, basically, right? Every 4 and the 5th is going to be a dot, and we got these sequences of spheres and dots, right? So in this way, what we're looking at in this, summarizing a little bit this tutorial, is just the if statement, the else condition. We also use looking at what is the remainder operation, and this enable redraw. You could have these lines really hashed out, you know, like that. And when you really want to get the speed, like you really know what you're getting out of the script and the script is running well, you can just bring them in, so you could actually make the script run much faster. So I hope that you like this, and the next lesson we're gonna see functions.